Hi everybody, this is Lisa from Essential Life Naturals, and I wanted to do a video today on how to make some fun things for Christmas gifts. I am huge on crafting and making things by scratch. I think it started because back in my 20s and when I moved out, I had no money. I was working 3 jobs and I had to just learn how to be very creative in order to be able to give gifts and really just to get by. So I was, and I was both blessed and cursed with a very creative mind that kind of never turns off. And so the good news about that is that I'm always coming up with ideas, and the bad news is that sometimes it keeps me awake at night. So what are you going to do? But what I did yesterday, I was thinking about doing some potpourri kind of things for Christmas, and fortunately, I decided to go out into my backwoods area yesterday and collect some things that I found in nature. And I say fortunately because it started snowing last night, and so had I gone today, I wouldn't be able to go because it would all be covered in white. Ugh. So what I did is I collected a huge big bushel basket full of things that I thought would look pretty in a potpourri and had texture, and some of them even are scented. And it's pretty cool because these are things that you can find in nature, so you don't excuse me, have to go out and find expensive potpourri. So here's a few of the things that I found. I cannot identify all of them, but they were beautiful and textural, and I just thought they'd look great in a potpourri. So, get creative, go out and just find stuff, old flower heads, colored leaves, things that are dried. Obviously, if they're not dried, they're not going to work well in a potpourri. You'd have to put them on a dryer sheet or put them in the oven and dry them first. But here's a few of the things that I found. So this was a dried sedum head flower, and it's really beautiful. It's still got a little bit of a kind of a purplish tint to it, and you could cut that up small and sprinkle it in a basket. I've got some echinacea seed head pods that are very textural and kind of pokey and beautiful, and so I got some of those. You might want to shake them first because there's a lot of seeds in there. That's how they reseed themselves, by sprinkling those seeds. These were some, I don't know what they were, some kind of a weed that was from the field that we have next door to us, and I just clipped a whole bunch of these, and they're really cool. They're actually little seed pod heads. You can see they're very there's a whole bunch of them, and if you're careful they won't fall off. So I got those. I got some different colored leaves that are dry. I got some that are kind of a magenta and some that are kind of a caramel color. I found some really beautiful moss on the forest floor that I always think moss is beautiful. And so I got some of that and just kind of tore that apart. And no, I did not peel a birch tree because you're not supposed to do that. But I actually had a birch log by our firewood supply, and it had some of this coming off, so I peeled a bunch of the birch bark off, and I thought that would be pretty in a potpourri too. And then there's a number of different kinds of spruce trees and greenery out there, so I got some blue spruce branches and I chopped those up, and they smell really good. And then there's another, I don't know if it's an arborvitae, I don't know how to call it, but it's got like some little kind of almost little pine cone things on them, and I just thought that was really kind of cool. And so here's what I did. And the list goes on and on. I mean, you can use things that you find outside. You can mix it with cinnamon sticks or dried lemons, dried limes, dried oranges. I have a whole number of things here on the table. Just a billion combinations. And you can do a dry potpourri and you can do a wet simmering potpourri. And we're going to do the dry one first. So what I did was I just took a nice container, any kind of a container that you like, and I just started to fill it with some of the different kinds of potpourri items that I have here. And you can kind of tuck them in and around so it just looks pretty. And this would be really nice sitting on an end table somewhere. And it's just interesting, and it's going to smell really good because we're going to add essential oils to it. So what I did is I just tucked in a whole bunch of different all my favorite little items in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle it with some essential oil. And what you could do is to take this batch and put it in a big plastic bag or a jar that's sealed, and sprinkle it with your favorite essential oils and let it sit for about a week. Because I'm doing this video, I don't have time for that, so I can do that after, or you can just remember to do that, or you don't have to remember to do it. You can take a mixture of essential oils, do whatever you like. I mean, for the holidays, it's always nice to use spruce and pine and juniper and fir. Those are always nice, or cinnamon, nutmeg, orange, any combination, clove. I've got a whole bunch of different essential oil books. This particular one is called 500 Formulas for Aromatherapy. And in it, on the inside, there's a whole section on potpourri. And it's got things: citrus scent, floral scent, forest, minty, spicy, and all kinds of things. So you know what? Buy a book, go to the library and borrow a book, or even better yet, get on Pinterest and or Google and just look up essential oil Christmas combination scents, and you'll find them. So, or if you want to be really easy and not have to worry about how to put together your own essential oil scents, there's a lot of companies out there that make really good blends. I happen to work for Windmere Naturals, which is a great essential oil company, and they're here in Minnesota. They're local. They do a lot of wild crafting with their essential oils. They have a whole organic line. They've been around for many, many years. I trust them, and I've been selling their oils for over 10 years. So they've got a couple of really great, well, they have a million different scents. And if you look on their website, it's Windmere Naturals. Or you can call me and essentiallifenaturals.com, and we can talk about different ideas as well. But anyway, they've got a couple that I decided to use today for demonstration, and one is called Joyful Spirit. And Joyful Spirit has orange, mei-chang, ylang-ylang, bergamot, and vetiver in it, and it smells very, I don't know, joyful. I guess that's why they call it Joyful Spirit, but it's very uplifting. It's kind of soft. It's mellow and just kind of uplifting. And then there's one called Comforting Cheer, and this is one that I diffuse in my home a lot over the holidays. I really like it because it's kind of a happy scent. It's got orange, it's got mandarin, clove, cinnamon, grapefruit, pine, and ginger. And I love it. I don't think I've ever come across somebody that doesn't love this scent. You know, all of those things that I listed too, all of the essential oils that I listed, you know, you can mix any combination of those too. But anyway, Comforting Cheer, that's another one I really like. And then this one is Forest Retreat. It's got pine, cedarwood, juniper berry, orange, rosewood, fir, and vetiver in it. And this is the one that I'm going to use to scent this batch of potpourri, and I'm going to put about 15 drops of essential oil in that, and it's going to smell so good. All right, that's beautiful, really easy, and other than the essential oil, it was free and fun because, you know, it kept me busy yesterday. So, and that's good. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is Simmering, the Simmering potpourri, and I did these for a Christmas gift last year, which turned out to be a nice little gift. People really liked them and appreciated them. And here's the thing. I bet all of you have some fruit in the bottom of your fruit drawer that is not looking so good anymore. It's not really something you want to eat, but you know, it's still okay. So here's what you do. You take that, like I had an orange and a lime in my fruit drawer that they look beautiful sliced. You can see that. But eating just plain, they didn't look good. So I sliced them up. Be quiet. That's my dog. I sliced them up, and you can dry them in an oven or in your dehydrator tray, which we covered that a little bit in the fruit roll-ups video that I did. And once they're dried, you can take any combination of citrus, pine, berries, spices, and mix them up. So what I did for this simmering pot here is I took some pine. Here I've got some blue spruce, a little sprig of that. And I also put in some dried eucalyptus. Now, I have big jars of herbs at my house because I use them for remedies that I make in teas and tinctures and oils and things like that. But you can buy eucalyptus even at like Walmart in the dried flower section. It quite often is in dried bouquets, and it's probably about $3 a bunch. So you can use that. It's great to use for simmering potpourri. It smells really good. Another thing, so I used the blue spruce, and I used some eucalyptus. I used a couple of orange slices in here, and you could put in lemon, you can put in grapefruit, whatever, whatever kind of combination that you like. And then I sprinkled in a couple of drops of pine essential oil into here, and then plug it in and just leave it going all day. In fact, actually it gets better all day. Once it starts to simmer down, it gets a little bit stronger, and then you can add a little bit more water and just keep simmering it until you've kind of used up all the scent. And that really kind of takes quite a while. I mean, it'll last a long time. What you can do is you can take that same combination, take some of the dried orange peels, dried citrus, dried fruit, dried whatever, put them in a jar and add some water and put on a cute top like this. This is kind of a cute top on here, and then a little tag with instructions. And then all your recipient of this nice little gift has to do is pour it into a simmer pot or on a pot on the stove, and it's a gift. It's a great hostess gift. It's a great teacher gift. It doesn't cost really anything. It's really easy. So some of the other combinations that I really like are orange, cinnamon, nutmeg, star anise. Again, the sky's the limit. Be creative. If you have questions, you can email me. It's essentiallifenaturals@gmail.com, or you can leave comments in my comment section below. Okay, a couple of other things that I want to show you that you can do for the holidays, which are really fun and really easy. And Windmere has these great little cards that I'm going to be doing a demo this week at one of the co-ops here in Minneapolis, and I'm bringing these with me. But I am going to have this card available on my website so you can download it, and it'll have all these little recipe ideas on it for you. So in the meantime, we're going to talk a little bit about scented pine cones. Up at my cabin, we have tons of pine cones all over the place, and usually they're kind of a hassle because we have to rake them up and get rid of them because you step on them. But this time of year, what's really awesome is that I just collect them up, put them in a bag, and keep them because I use them for gifts, and I do a couple of different things with them. One is that I take the pine cones and I buy either store-bought paraffin, or you can buy soy wax, and melt that over a double boiler, and then just dip the pine cones. And you have to do this repeatedly, and you can add essential oil into the wax to make it scented. And you've got these beautiful little wax pine cones, which by themselves in a bowl, in a little wooden bowl, look really beautiful. I've got a bunch of them sitting around my home, and they smell good. The other thing is that you can use them for fire starters. So if you know somebody that does a lot of bonfires or has an indoor wood burning fireplace, these are great. So set one in, light a match, poof, they are great fire starters. And so so take a couple of the pine cones. You probably have pine trees in your yard. Grab some pine cones. If you want to dip them in wax, that's awesome. It looks really good and it smells good, but you don't have to. So that by itself is a great gift, and you can get these cute little bags. I don't know, I think a lot of times you can get these cheap little bags at the dollar store, and 3 of them in a bunch, put them in a sack, put a nice little tag on them, boom, it's a great gift. Another thing you can do is to take your pine cones, do not put any wax on them, spread them out on a cookie sheet, and put your oven on about 200 degrees, and put tinfoil down first, because what will happen is they'll kind of leach some sap out and it'll get on your cookie sheet otherwise. So put down some tinfoil, put the pine cones down across the cookie sheet, and just let them bake until they kind of open up a little bit. I think it takes about maybe 2 to 3 hours, and then take them out, let them cool down, and then you can put them in a bowl and you can sprinkle them with cinnamon oil, which smells really good, or pine oil, or a combination of cinnamon and orange, or a bunch of different combinations. And again, probably best if you're going to put essential oil on, to put them in a baggie first, put your essential oil on them, close it up and let them sit for about a week so that all that oil absorbs and all that scent absorbs into the pine cones. And then take them out, put them in little bags, and give them as gifts to people. You could also put them on top of your potpourri that we made, which would be really lovely as well. Okay, so there's another little Christmas idea. And then here's another thing that you can do. My daughter and I, well, who didn't go through the phase of making cards? Because, you know, that's what we did. We did stamping and made cards, and isn't that fun? And that's great. Okay, so now I've got all of these million cards left over. And here's one that has a little celebrate on it, and it's just kind of plain yellow paper and nothing to it on the inside. It's a blank card. A nice little gift idea is to take either a cotton ball or a piece of cotton and put about maybe 6 or 7 drops of your favorite essential oil. You can do tangerine, grapefruit. I mean, if you want to coordinate it to the color, like this is yellow, maybe you could do lemon, lemongrass, something like that. Put the essential oil on here, put it in the bag, seal it up for about a week or so, and then you've got a nice scented card to give to somebody. Or you could make a set of these. You know, maybe make 10 of them and give them as a set for somebody else to give to other people, which is a great Christmas gift, or really anytime. It's great for Mother's Day. My mom loved it when I gave her a set of pre-made cards because she still gives a lot of cards. Believe it or not, there are people out there that still use the mail. Go figure. Okay. Another thing to do is to make a little room spray. And these are nice gifts for teachers. They're nice to have on the back of the toilet, in any room where you do a lot of cooking, something like that. So just a little spray bottle like this with some purified or distilled water inside. And then one of these great combinations of oils here, or better yet, you can do your little forest retreat blend and do about maybe 5 to 10 drops in your little spray bottle, and put a nice little label on it, and you've got a nice little room spray for somebody. So that's really easy, great gift, nice to have around your house. And then also something else that you can do is if you have, again, a wood burning fireplace, a wood burning stove, or you're doing bonfires, you can take your wood and you can put about 8 or 10 drops of essential oil, maybe, well, actually probably about 4 drops of essential oil on that. Maybe pine would be good, any scent that you like, and let that dry for a while. And then when you're using your fireplace, you've got scent that wafts into the air along with the smoke too. So that's a really nice gift too. So those are just some ideas that I thought would be fun for you. If you're like me and you like to be creative, like to save money, and really like to give gifts that are from your heart, people really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. And again, check out, we've got some other videos, and about once a week I'll be posting another one. So enjoy, and God bless all of you.